pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening and welcome to the January 22nd, 2019 Bryan City Council meeting. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the January 7th, 2019 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Judy?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes. Next on the agenda is hearing of public concerns. Hearing none, we will move on. Next on the agenda is clerk treasurer's report. Pat?
The council's been presented with the clerk treasurer's report for the month ending December 31st, 2018. To 2019, a resolution authorizing Carrie Schlade as a delegate to represent the City of Bryan as a member of the Board of Directors of the Ohio Municipal Electric Association in 2019.
Yes, this is a resolution similar to those we have passed annually. I am lucky enough to be a member of OMEA, and with that I needed an alternate as well, which the Board of Public Affairs asked that we nominate Tom Sproul. So that's also in that, pending council's approval.
And since it's a resolution, we need to suspend first.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
It doesn't have it on the...
Yeah, it's because OMEA, AMP provided this, so they probably didn't have the suspension on there.
Yeah, but since, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I move to suspend.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes.
Move to adopt.
I'll second.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes. Next on the agenda is a resolution. Pat, will you please read and number?
Resolution number 3, 2019, a resolution authorizing the clerk treasurer to advertise for bids for the project known as 2019 Asphalt Program.
Mr. Watterson.
Is this just resurfacing, or is this digging the whole thing up?
No, this is just resurfacing.
Resurfacing.
I think on South Street, though, we're going to do a couple layers to build it up, give it some more strength, so.
That's a busy traveled road anymore.
Yep.
Is that a continuation of where they redid the corner? Is that continuing on?
Yes, it'd be from Lynn all the way down to Union.
Okay. I move to suspend.
I'll second.
Rick?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes.
Move to adopt.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes. Next on the agenda is a resolution. Pat, would you please number and read?
Resolution number 4, 2019, a resolution authorizing the clerk treasurer to advertise for bids for the project known as 2019 Pavement Marking Program.
Again, this is just our annual pavement marking. They come in and touch up all our lines on the streets.
I move to suspend.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is a resolution. Pat, would you please number and read?
And others for the City of Bryan, Williams County, Ohio, as necessary.
Yes, pending council's approval. These are grants that Brian Wieland applies for annually, and we are hopeful that you will allow us to continue that.
And he's had some success at that,
He has.
correct?
Yes.
Which I've always been very impressed about.
Yep, very much.
Move to suspend.
Second.
Judy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes.
Move to adopt.
I'll second.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes. Next on the agenda is an ordinance. Pat, would you please number and read?
This is ordinance number 3, 2019, an ordinance establishing the pay rate scale for seasonal workers in the Parks and Recreation Department of the City of Bryan, making effective January 22nd, 2019, and rescinding ordinance number 2, 2018.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The pay scale you have in front of you would work for our seasonal employees. The reason we have to do this on an annual basis is the change in minimum wage. So when the minimum wage laws change, then we change our scale just a little bit, you know, to try to make it as fair and equal for all the people that we hire throughout the summer, spring, summer, and fall months. So that's what you see in front of you.
I can't recall, was there a, what I call chain reaction bump, or was it just a bump at the lower end? I'm sorry, I can't remember.
We try to do a little bit of chain reaction bump, but the
Okay.
problem is, John, is the minimum wage has continued to grow so
Right.
fast on us that we don't always change
Right.
it equivalent all the way through the pay scale. Bruce and I sit down, and there are some situations like, you know, we want our lifeguards to make a little bit more money than what our
Right.
certified people make at the pools, because we just don't think it's fair that a certified person makes the same as a non-certified person. So we do make some changes throughout the scale, but to say that we take the 30 cents that it went up and do that all the way across the board, we don't do that.
Generally,
Otherwise, we'd price
I'm sorry.
ourselves right out of the market. I mean,
Yeah.
because it just has grown very quickly over the last 5 to 10 years.
Generally, is the timing such that that's something, because you submit budgets in October?
No, yeah, October, November
November-ish?
timeframe, yeah.
And you find the information out by July-ish? About,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So it gives you some time to have
Yeah.
that in the budget?
Well, and Lori and Ron have always been really good about kind of giving us a heads up, hey, that's going to change, make sure you're budgeting for
Sure.
that, because it does affect our temporary employees.
Yeah.
And could affect them, you know, substantially depending on where the scale goes.
Thanks.
No problem, no problem.
I move to suspend.
I'll second.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
John?
Yes,
Lynn?
Yes.
and I'll move to adopt.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Making effective January 1st, 2019, and declaring an emergency.
Chief? Good evening.
Good evening.
Back in 2006, when we wrote the current volunteer pay ordinance, volunteers were paid $8.50 an hour coming in with no training at all. It was never on our radar that minimum wage was going to go to $8.55. So we have a couple of people who that affects presently, so we need to pass this ordinance so that we can get these folks up to the federal minimum.
Does anybody else get confused for a variety of reasons, and we have that discussion? So I know it's not just me. Is there anything that anyone has any ideas about, or should we just leave it that way, or should we call them something different, or am I getting into trouble here, Rhonda? Get me out if I am.
It's historical for our city. That's what we called that unit.
I just didn't know if it
I
confused.
think your question is because I did do some calling around on wages, and other municipalities do call them part-time.
I like that better.
And, no, I mean, the chief
Well-
knows that I struggle with the word volunteer.
Ooh, somebody
Pay.
else.
So
This
it's
was not
just you. We have
coordinated, by the way.
spoken, I promise.
This was just sprung from me.
And again, I'm not running into a burning building, so it's very different than when I volunteered in the community. So I'm also not advocating for free work.
No.
But the terminology,
Seems
And we have always paid the volunteer folks. It's actually a paid-on-call position because they get paid when they respond to calls or they're going to training.
Well, maybe we can
But
leave it if you would just, you and your department would just give it some further thought and apparently discuss it with the mayor, if there's other terminology that might be appropriate.
But all of our shirts say volunteer, then we gotta buy new.
So now we got to change. Now we're going to have $2,000 to $20,000 to change. Okay, well, that's what I mean by the implications. I'm not trying to create problems, I'm just wondering if it was confusing to anyone besides me. Sounds like it maybe is, but it's not that big of a deal. Just a thought.
Okay. Thank you. I'll take it under advisement, sir.
That's good enough for me.
Well, with that, I'll move to suspend the...
And I'll second that.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Judy?
Yes.
Recommend Jared McCann be appointed regular full-time status Bryan Police Department Patrol Officer effective January 30th, 2019. He has successfully completed his 6-month probationary period per city handbook. He will receive his contractual pay increase when he completes his 1 year of full service of employment as patrol officer on June 30th, 2019.
And if you recall with Jared, he was a little special because he had come over from the fire department, so it was a transfer within the city which did not require the 12-month probation.
Right. You all good? So this is just a motion to accept? Yes, so I will make that motion.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes. Next on the agenda is permission to hire, Police Department. Captain.
I'm requesting permission to give a civil service test for the position of full-time police officer, police fire dispatcher for the City of Bryan Police Department. The last civil service examination for police fire dispatcher was conducted on September 15th, 2018, and the list has been exhausted of qualified applicants.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mary?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you on both.
Next on the agenda is a building permit. Mr. Watterson.
Tonight, I have a building permit for Nolan Real Estate. This is interior office renovation, 1,632 square feet.
I move to accept with appreciation for the people involved.
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Judy?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is resignation for the street department. I think, Mayor?
Yes. Council, we are asking that you approve the resignation of Cassandra McIsaac, effective January 27th. She is in our recycling department and is going to work somewhere else.
I'll move to accept.
I'll second.
Judy?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Lynn?
Yes. Okay. Next, we will go around the room for any comments. Mr. Dominic? Mr. Watterson? Chief Siders?
It is very icy out there tonight. Please be careful.
Thank you. Captain Chapa? Mr. Maynard? Mr. Sprout? Ms. Ford? Max? Rebecca? Okay. Mr. Hoopy?
I have nothing.
It's nice to see that that Mr. McCann is doing well. Before we take a recess and go into an executive session, I'll read that in a minute, but I'm sorry, Pat, I forgot to ask you if you had anything.
Well, unfortunately, I do have something tonight. We are now sending out our 2018 income tax packets. You'll get something in the mail. It's a yellow card. So they've been sent out. So if you have questions, call our tax department. So I just want to let the people know that they are available. They will be available shortly.
Okay. Rhonda?
No, sir.
Mayor?
I do have a few things. We were notified last week that Paladina Health has acquired Activate Healthcare. That's something I wanted to make sure council was aware of. They are based out of Denver, Colorado. Very similar, but a larger corporation. My understanding from everything that we're receiving is that there won't be any changes. They will keep the Activate Healthcare name. We actually may get a few more services and benefits out of it, but as I find out more information, because it's a very fluid deal right now, I will certainly let you guys and the Board of Public Affairs members know. Also, the City of Bryan is holding a photo contest. We are in the middle of a website reconstruction, which is very exciting for us. But if you have photos that you would like to submit, please send them to photos@cityofbryan.com. There is also a release on our Facebook page and my mayor page. If there are identified individuals in the picture, we ask that you get the League Board of Trustees. That was something that I had inquired about when I found that there was an opening, and I do think that will help with the staff and communication statewide on legislation that's pending and any kind of internal agendas that they have.
Are those photographs like more recent? Is that what you're asking? Or like historical ones from like, I mean, as most people know, I have a fairly large photo postcard collection of a variety of things from Bryan, from public affairs, a variety of different things of the city of Bryan.
Each department's site, depending on the department head.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of cool sometimes for people to see the historical, the evolution of the jail, the post office, dairies, Bryan Public Works, just a lot of stuff. So. Okay, so that's good. So it can be both. Thank you.
That it? Yes. Okay. So now we will take a brief recess, and then we will move into executive session to consider the appointment and discipline